Can the weather make up its mind? A venti white iced mocha made with oat milk with caramel around the cup and vanilla cold foam. Period. 안녕하세요. WitchObsession입니다. Hi. Hello. Welcome back to my Witch Obsession. And in today's Pick a Card reading, we will be looking into your next romantic encounter. And I'm super excited because this reading topic is actually pretty inspired from this other reader's. She does this topic often, and her name is The Spiritual Social. I'm sure y'all have heard of her. If not, y'all should definitely go check her out. She is just she just does these love readings and these rose petal readings, and they're just so the vibe. I love when readers on any platform really do other forms of divination. Like, I've seen coffee cup readings, I've seen rose petal readings, candle wax readings. It's just so cool, and I definitely want to hone my intuition more and more to be able to read with different objects and different methods of channeling, if you will. Yeah, definitely go check her out. I'll link her in the description box actually, but yes, this reading is going to revolve around like your next romantic encounter. It doesn't have to be with a lover. If you have a lover, this could be with them. If you don't, it could be just like a random person. In the reading, I'll kind of like toe dip into who it could be, but I kind of want to keep the identity of the people involved a little bit more vague, or at least the people you would get involved with. I don't know, because I feel like overly describing somebody can like make you, like, at least for me, like makes me go into like Joker mode, and I'm like, who's this person? And then suddenly I like become like an Instagram detective. But yeah, if you'd like to see who your next romantic encounter would be with, I can totally do a reading on that, because we're here. Like, I just, But anyways, so yeah, we have 4 piles today. We have pile 1 with the Black Lion Tarot, pile 2 with the Mystic Mondays Tarot, pile 3 with the Mermaid Tarot, and pile 4 with the 5 Cent Tarot. Now, if you already know which pile you want to go, or like which pile you've chosen, then as always, timestamps are in the description box below, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the way down there. But yeah, see you at your reading. But if you want to listen to me ramble for an extra minute or 2 or 3, then hi. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I was just on TikTok, and I was literally so addicted to my phone. I was like procrastinating filming because I was like scrolling, and I was like, oh, this is so bad. Let me get off. But there's just one person, and he was always popping up on my For You page. And like, he's literally beautiful, but I was like so annoyed because, like, okay guys, I'm gonna come out here. I've learned that I have a very avoidant attachment style, which is not good, and I'm working on it. But in the meantime, while I'm in the midst of healing, I don't like when I get like am attracted to somebody, like, instead of being like a normal person and being like, wow, like this person is so attractive, like I wonder what they're like, I'm like, get them away from me before I cause loud explosions across the globe. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, I'm a little bit dramatic about it, but like, I also think that, like, I used to think that I was like not even avoidant attachment style, because like I don't really consider myself to have like the textbook avoidant attachment. I feel like it's kind of a bunch of different things, because obviously like things like that are very nuanced, because like I have really bad separation anxiety, and like low key, like it's just so like bad. So like for me to actually have, I think it's because like I have the avoidant attachment to like remedy or like completely avoid the separation anxiety as a whole. I don't know, as a kid I was just so clingy with my parents. I don't know about y'all, but I was just on it. And yeah, also, I should have said this earlier in the intro, but thank you guys so much for the support lately. I love talking to you guys as much as I can. Like, obviously I get kind of tired, or like I lose track, but you know, like when I ask questions and stuff and people are like commenting, it's just like it's so exciting for everyone to like read each other's comments and like talk to each other, because like I feel like not a lot of like areas of the internet, or I don't even know how to describe it. Like I just like want my channel to like completely solicit like quote unquote like people oversharing, and not like in a bad way, like oh my gosh like oversharing, you know, like, but more so like I feel like I'm the kind of person that loves talking. Like I, when I get asked those questions, when I'm like scrolling through YouTube and I see a poll and it's like, what's your zodiac sign and what's your like favorite food, and I'll be like, I'm a Scorpio and my favorite food is pasta because this, because that, you know, like I just love like being in detail about it. Like I feel like, especially with like the state of the world, and I feel like we all like, it just feels like there isn't enough conversation. I don't know, but I'm sure y'all get what I mean. But I just like, I love talking to people, I love asking people questions, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really appreciate it, especially when people comment their Starbucks orders. I love asking that question. I love when people tell me their Starbucks order, because like, you know, like one thing that I am grateful for with like from my past relationship is that like it really like honed my perspective on coffee and, you know, like Starbucks and stuff, because previously I was like Starbucks hater. I was like, don't ever mention Starbucks to me. I was like, you were literally not a vibe, but now I'm like Starbucks. And like it's just, I don't know. I was watching this video by Flossie Baby on TikTok, and she was like, sometimes all you need is some iced coffee. And after she drinks it, she's all like, did you see that? The attitude just evaporated out of my body. And now I just like live by that. Every time I like get that order, I'm just like, the attitude just evaporated out of my body. But yeah, she's like this. She's like an influencer on TikTok. Y'all should definitely go check her out. She's so funny. I literally love her. But yeah, I think that's all I have. Oh my gosh. Okay, I rambled for way too long today. So yeah, see you at your reading. Thank you for listening to ramble. Bye bye. See you there. See you there. Hello, pile one. If you chose the Black Lion Tarot, then this is going to be your reading for your next romantic encounter. Oh my gosh, getting this deck to like sit and like not like move around, like you see how like it's like not, you know, it's so difficult because this deck is so like, it's kind of glossy, so it just like slips and slides a lot. I've been wanting to get more decks, but like Material Girl does not have the budget to solicit more decks, because Material Girl has very expensive taste when it comes to decks. I remember when I bought this deck, I literally impulse bought it while I was in the laundromat. I literally, okay guys, I do this really silly thing where I go online, I go on Google and I literally type flip a coin. I'm like, should I do this? Heads yes, tails no. And that's how I make like 80% of my decisions. Like it doesn't get more Libra Mars than that. All right. What will pile one's next romantic encounter be? 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 Okay, first card we have Ace of Pentacles and also Two of Swords. I'm feeling like your next romantic encounter, like I keep getting work, or you may have like this moment at work. We also have the World. So very specific message, but for some of you, you could like travel for work, or you could meet this person like abroad, or like your next encounter might be somewhere abroad. Sorry, I know it's not about like the person, but the situation itself. But with the Two of Swords, I'm feeling like you won't really understand this situation when it happens. I feel like your next romantic encounter, you won't even realize that it was your romantic encounter until you like talk to other people about it, or you think it over some. Because I feel like, you know, we don't have any cups yet. You know, that's obviously subject to change. But I'm just feeling like you guys aren't really, not that you guys aren't focused on love. I feel like you guys do like care about love, and that you guys do like have an eye for romance, but I just feel like it's one of those things that you aren't like, you're not like crazy person like searching for magnifying glass vibes, but more so like in a way where you're like passively open to it. And obviously like that doesn't have to resonate, but what I'm trying to say here is that I feel as if though your next romantic encounter will be something that deals with like going out or something that deals with finances or work. But like I said, with the Two of Swords, I don't think you'll realize that this was in fact a romantic encounter. I feel like it'll just be kind of like an offering, you know, like I feel like the Ace of Pentacles, like it could be like an offering to like go out or like go shopping or like, hey, like do you want to go to the mall or something like that? And you know, they like shake hands with you or like they hug you and it's like for a little bit too long, not like too long, but you know, like it's a little bit longer, it's like lingering. And I feel like it'll leave you kind of feeling like, girl, what was that? You know, like, does this person, like, you know what I'm saying? Are they interested? I'm feeling like this could be one of those situations where it could be a little bit more casual. And yeah, I'm gonna pull more cards actually. Actually, no, I'm gonna ask what this Ace of Pentacles is because like it really does have me stumped. What is this Ace of Pentacles? What is this Ace of Pentacles? We have Temperance and Knight of Wands. Yeah, I feel like, first of all, it could be with like somebody who is very adventurous, especially since we pulled the World card. I feel as if though your next romantic encounter would provide this context is that this person might ask you out somewhere or like you might go out somewhere with someone. I'm feeling like maybe some of you will like travel or like you'll go out with a group of people and then like you'll like break off into like pairs or something, and then this person will be like, oh, like, you know, like you have like a little like flirtatious moment with them, you know. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of flirting, especially since we have the King Knight of Wands here, pardon me. And it's just gonna be like one of those things. If it's not that, if it's not like, okay, you know, like you're going out and traveling, it could also be like with the Temperance card, you're just kind of like dealing with your day-to-day life and you're kind of just like doing something else, you know, like, you know, focusing on other things in your life, you know, like your career, like it could be other things. It doesn't matter what it is that you're focusing on, but I do think that it deals with your 3D and something about, you know, like working out things in the 3D in regards to, you know, it could be your home. Like I'm maybe for some of you it'll literally just be like you're focused on renovating your home, getting a new home, you know, finding a place to live or something of the sorts. But I feel like along the way of balancing things and trying to kind of keep things, you know, like how do I say, mediated, there we go. I'm feeling as if though this person will kind of like have like a little fling with you or like you'll have kind of like this little moment with them, and I'm feeling like, anyways, I feel like it'll just be a situation where you guys kind of both just like there's like this insane chemistry, because I feel like with the Knight of Wands it's just like I see that as literally the most flirtatious card. I feel like it's just such like a energetic card, you know. Let's see what else. What will pile one's next romantic encounter be like? We also have Queen of Cups and Four of Pentacles. I'm feeling like with the Four of Pentacles, it'll be a situation where you're kind of resistant to it. Queen of Pentacles too. I feel like for a lot of you, yeah, like it just seems as if though you're focused on something else, or like this person will kind of have you at a crossroads and kind of having you feeling defensive. I'm feeling like whatever this situation is, you're gonna like, it's gonna like send you into like, okay, like awareness mode, you know, like, okay, this person is around me or this situation is upon me, you know. And I'm feeling as if though like with the Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles, you could be like a hopeless romantic, or you could be somebody who really does care about romance, you know. I know I said like, oh, like you could very well not be focused on romance, but I also feel like with the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords, perhaps a lot of you like have dealt with some really big disappointments in regards to love, or you have had some really like annoying situations within romance and, you know, anything of the sorts. And as a result, I think that the Four of Pentacles is just telling me that you're very much closed off right now, or you're a little bit like closed off to these kind of things, or you are healing from something, or just in the sense that like you are a little bit more like cautious, and you are a little bit more careful as to who you associate with and who you allow into your circle. And I'm sensing that this applies to not only, within your love life, but also your friend groups, your family, anything of the sorts. I feel like the Four of Pentacles is just telling me that you have some pretty established boundaries when it comes to who you talk to and who you associate with. And so like I'm feeling like this next situation is going to really throw you off, or it's going to have you kind of like, huh? Like it'll just like it'll happen pretty quickly. I'm feeling like with the Temperance and Ace of Pentacles, it'll just be something where you won't even realize that what's going on until you either A, like I said, explain it to somebody else, or B, you think it over some, or like C, you just randomly think of this person and you're like, come to think of it, when I went to the mall with this person, it was just kind of like, I thought we were just friends, but like they, you know what I mean? It's just like there's gonna be something off about it. And I'm feeling like it really shows through in the way that the message is coming through, because like I'm sure you can tell, but I feel like I'm just like really stumbling over my words, or I'm really trying to kind of like decipher this message, or kind of just like explain this to you as eloquently as possible. But it just feels like this situation is kind of a haze, and it's going to be something where in the moment the details are very vivid and clear and obvious, but because you're just so focused on, like things being like platonic, and you like respecting yourself, and you being like all about yourself, like you'll just be very like focused on yourself. So as a result, you won't be thinking too much about another person's feelings. And so as a result, I feel like a lot of the haze that I'm picking up on comes in that little grace period where you have had the encounter like already, it's done and over with, and you're kind of just moving along from it, but you're like, wait a second, that was you know what I mean? It's one of those things where you can't really put your finger down on it. And I am sensing that with the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, I'm feeling like this encounter will be pretty intimate. I feel like some of you like will share your more, how do I say, intimate details with this person, or with these people. And it just depends on what you're into. And I just feel like, like regardless of that, it's just this sense of like you guys will kind of be like talking, lots of like more emotional and more sultry conversation. I'm feeling like there won't be as many words spoken, but there will be a lot more weight to the words that are spoken. I'm feeling like with the Four of Pentacles, I don't think that the conversations are going to be like completely, open, or like completely transparent. I'm feeling like it's going to be a little bit hazy, or it's going to be a little bit disorienting. Like you'll get lost in it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, You'll get lost in this conversation, and you might just spill a few beans on your emotional being, or, how you've been doing, or, if that doesn't resonate, this person or these people, like, they might just tell you how they're feeling, they might spill some, like, beans on you, or they might tell you something about their life, And I just feel like with the Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles too, it doesn't matter what you identify as. I'm just feeling like, pile one, you're probably very reserved, and you're probably very careful about who you disclose information to, especially after the disappointments you probably have faced leading up until this point. So as a result, I feel like you have a very, not jaded, but like very mature and very experienced like perspective on conversations, and how you express yourself, and how much you disclose about yourself to other people. But I do feel as if though like this is just something that you keep to yourself. I'm feeling like you're very magnanimous towards those who are more open, or to those people that speak a little bit more. And I am sensing that, like, especially since we saw the Knight of Wands earlier, and we also had Temperance, so there could be Sagittarius energy involved here. I'm feeling like this person, or like this situation would be like one of you is going to be very open, or one of you is going to be a little bit more, honest and more transparent than the other person. And I'm feeling like this dynamic will further confuse, or like further add to that haze that I keep talking about, of where you guys are like, hey, yo, what even was that, I don't feel like, with the Two of Swords as well, I feel like neither of y'all's intentions are going to be very clear, I feel like you guys are going to go into this situation a little bit open-minded, or a little bit, like you don't have set expectations, and you'll be like, oh, like we're just going to hang out, we're just going to talk, or, we're just going to pass each other by, But I feel like because of that, it'll just further add to this kind of like, hey, yo, what was that, I'm feeling like, when your brain and when your heart just isn't on the same page, I'm feeling like that's what's gonna happen with pile one. And I'm not saying that to scare you, because I do feel like you do like keeping your emotional composure. And I do believe, like, it's not like you're gonna like lose your mind, or, like start getting on all fours and like frothing at the mouth and screaming, but more so in a way that's like, your heart is gonna feel some sort of way, and you're gonna be feeling some sort of way, but you're gonna be thinking like, child, like, get a grip of yourself, It's one of those situations. It sounds very cliche, it sounds kind of corny, but I am sensing that, like, that's like the most vague way I can explain it in a way that will apply to all of you collectively. But, obviously from person to person watching this pile, it's going to differ, and it's going to be, different shades as we, as we talk about person to person, because, obviously not everyone's the same. So yeah, let me pull some more cards. I need more context. We also have Two of Cups. Oh my gosh. And King of Swords. I am feeling like with the Two of Cups, like, this person could be of significance to you. They could be your soulmate, but they don't have to be, It's just, that's a very specific message, and one that holds a lot of weight. So if you don't believe it, or if you are like not with it, I also see the Two of Cups as like an exchange, or like, like an offering from person to person, like two people exchanging, And so, like, I feel like the Two of Cups here more so talks about the exchange itself more than the significance of the people involved, or the significance of the situation or the relationship at hand. And, like, the only reason I mentioned soulmate is because I want, like, maybe for some of you it would resonate, but I'm feeling like for the vast majority of you, what's more important and what is more applicable from this card is that the exchange will be very sweet, it'll be very innocent, and obviously it will be kind of strained, or it will be kind of not uncomfortable, but like rigid at first. But I'm feeling like as this situation goes on, or as the conversation goes on, it'll become a lot more fluid, especially with the King of Swords. I'm feeling like this person or somebody in the situation is going to be very well spoken and a very good conversationalist. Pile one, I really do feel like you guys are all about conversation. I feel like you guys are the kind of people that's like, if you don't have personality, if you have no riz, like GTFO, I'm not with it, I'm not vibing, like, my Uber's here, I gotta go. And I'm feeling like with this King of Swords, it's just like somebody, like this person or you, just like, or both people, I'm feeling could have a very sharp mind, and a lot of the opinions and a lot of the perspectives that will be exchanged within the situation will be shared. I feel like with the Two of Cups, it just shows that, and the Temperance card, a lot of balance, and a lot of like complementary, like personality traits, and a lot of complementary perspectives when it comes to conversing and when it comes to different things, like you guys could both have the same opinions on things, especially in terms of work. I'm feeling like with the Four of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles, especially since the Ace of Pentacles is the very first card that we pulled, and Queen of Pentacles, I'm feeling like you and whoever is, like you and whoever is concerned will just really deal with a lot of like conversations and a lot of agreements regarding, like, I believe that like you shouldn't have kids until you're married, or I believe it's okay to have kids before you get married, or it's okay to like do this in a relationship, or it's okay to like, double text, or like just text back when like a lot of the same morals and a lot of the same habits. And what is that word, like you have a lot of the same perspectives and opinions when it comes to relationships, exchanges. It doesn't even have to be those things, but those are just like an example. And I'm feeling like there's going to be a lot of relationship talk, but that will kind of further add to the confusion that I keep talking about. And when I say confusion, I'm not saying like, oh, like you're going to be like, like dizzy stars, like eyes spiraling, and you're like going cross-eyed thinking about it, but more so in a way that's like you can't really pin it down. You know what your intuition is telling you, but the situation is just so gray that it's hard to kind of tell. It's just like it will require very close observation of the finer details and the fine print, the smaller details, the little things. And I feel like those are what's going to really define the situation and really make it so emotionally charged and so emotionally viscous. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's just going to be very thick emotionally. I feel like you guys are going to feel it in the air when you guys are talking, and you're going to get lost in it. And I feel like I feel like maybe there could be flirting going on here, but King of Swords doesn't really come off as like a very flirty card. We did see the Knight of Wands, so I do feel as if though with the King of Swords, the flirting will be a little bit more like classy or a little bit more subtle. Not so blatant, like arm over shoulder, like, hey, like not like that, but more so like, it'll just be more subtle, like, oh, like I like how you did your hair, or like, it's just like little compliments that can be interpreted so many different ways, and that just further adds to like this, like, what was going on, And I feel like I hate to pin this situation down as if though it's like it'll be like completely confusing and like completely disorienting. So I do understand that this is a very particular message, but like I would rather not lie to you. And the reason I'm saying this is because I feel as if though like you very much understand what has become of your love life and what has become of your perspective on relationships. And that can go a bunch of different ways here, but I do feel as if though these perspectives are going to play a huge part in this encounter, because you'll have kind of a little bit of an opportunity to express these, opinions and this little bit of that lore and a little bit of that background information. And upon expressing it I feel like when a lot of things will kind of hit you at once, and I feel like it will change a lot of your perspectives on how you want to move forward in your love life, whether or not the person that you interact with, or the people that you have these encounters with will be like, whether or not those people are the ones that you actually end up involving yourself with, associating yourself with. And I'm feeling as if though like I'm feeling for a lot of you this probably won't lead to a relationship. For some of you, it could with the Two of Cups and the King of Swords. But for others of you, I'm feeling like this will kind of like change your perspective, or it will kind of like make you realize that the feelings that you have wanted to feel in regards to romance are a lot different than you thought. And I feel like this situation will be so different from what you're used to and what you're usually encountering with people that you meet. I'm going to pull one more card here. We also have Eight of Cups. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the cards here, once again, just kind of point to you leaving something behind at pile one. It doesn't have to be this encounter in particular, but, other things in your life. I'm going to pull an oracle card too. Maybe like maybe 1 to 3. I'll pull 3. What will pile one's next romantic encounter be like? Okay. We have spy. Strings, yeah. And support. Yeah, I swear. And regret. So, I'm not gonna lie, pile one. I do feel as if though, like, just a heads up, for some of you, you may regret how you handle this situation, or you may regret the situation happening at all. And what I'm gonna say here is, because I don't want to like worry you or anything, but what I'm trying to say here is like, when you are nearing this situation and this encounter, you will definitely feel it, and you will definitely notice the shifts in your life, but you'll kind of interpret these shifts as a result of something else, as opposed to this situation and this encounter coming towards you. So be very mindful of that, and also be very mindful of your social media, because I'm feeling like with the spy card and the strings card, like I said, I do feel as if though for a lot of you, this won't lead to a relationship, or this won't lead to like, like a huge like situationship or something like that. Or like it could for some of you be friends with benefits if you are interested in that. But that's a very particular message. But I think it's interesting that we pulled a support card here, because like I said, I do feel as if though this person will change a lot of your perspectives on what you want in romance and how you feel about your love life. I'm feeling like this person, this confusion that I keep talking about, like I feel like this person, how they made you feel, and like how you perceive romance and all these things, it will leave you kind of perplexed. And so as a result, I do feel as if though there is going to be a lot of like feelings of unfinished business, or feelings of like you mean more business with this person or these people. And so like as a result, I do think that it's going to be a little bit hazy, and I know like maybe some of you will comment and be like, no, thank you, girl. Like, keep that away from me. Like, social distancing. I'm gone. Like, I'm literally locked in my room. My phone's in a box. It's chained up. Like, my social media is all deactivated. Leave me alone. Like, I'm changing my name and address. Don't hit me up. Like, only the real ones know. And I totally understand that, pile one. But I do feel as if though like this situation can and will find you. I'm feeling because I feel like there's an important lesson to be learned within this situation. I feel like there is a lot of perspective and a lot of context to be provided within this situation. And I will say, in the moment, you're gonna kind of like, you're gonna slip a little bit. You're gonna catch yourself slipping. You're gonna be kind of like getting into the groove of it. You're gonna be like, wow, like this fun, and not like in a wow, this person hot AF, like let's go like to the bar right now. Yeah, I don't think it'll be like that. Maybe for some of you it will be, but for a vast majority of you it'll just be like, wow, like I'm having so much fun right now. Like I haven't had like a good trip like out like this, or I haven't like had somebody to talk to on a day-to-day basis, or I haven't had somebody to look forward to talk to on a day-to-day basis. Or like, wow, like I haven't had a situation like this, or wow, I haven't been out like this in a while because I've been working, or I've been doing this or that. And so like it'll really like loosen you up like emotionally, and it will like purge a lot of the rigidity that you have probably collected. And it will really like, it will soften up and purge a lot of your emotional calluses when it comes to romance. So yeah. Pile one, I think I'm going to sum up your reading by saying that your next romantic encounter is going to be one that catches you off guard, but not when it happens, but rather after it happens. And it will kind of leave you feeling a little bit like dazed, and a little bit like, wow, like what was that? And because this person will just be like very charming, and they'll get you to open up, and you'll get them to open up, and the communication will be very raw. It will be very sweet. It will be very honest, and it will be very transparent. And I'm feeling as if though like both of you, or like however many people are involved, will be very clear about intentions, and will be very clear about what has happened in the past, and a lot of sharing will go on, and a lot of like heartfelt conversation will take place. And I'm feeling as if though like it will be like a very romantic situation. And for a lot of you, I don't think that it could possibly like, it could lead somewhere, because we do have two cups here, as you know. But also for a lot of you, it might just be nothing more than a romantic encounter. It might be nothing more than that. But I am feeling that like with the regret card on the bottom of the deck, some of you may want a little bit more, and you definitely have the potential to manifest it. But that's only if you're able to apply the lessons in which can be found in the feelings that you feel from this encounter. And so, yeah, this may also take place abroad, or it may take place like over the internet with the spy card. You know, like your next romantic encounter could literally just be like a very heartfelt conversation over text or over the phone, you know, whatever applies. But I am sensing that like the form of communication and the form of contact will be very different from person to person. And you could be like a Pisces, or like you could just be like a mutable sign. So a Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, or Virgo, especially within the moon, rising, and Venus. And also like you may have like a very like mutable, you might also have a mutable seventh house placement. So like that would also mean like you have like a mutable rising. So yeah. That's all I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated and that you were like okay with it, because obviously like maybe not all of you are happy with what I have read, but I had to say it. The cards were telling me to think, okay? It's just like, please. But yeah, other than that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the Mystic Mondays Tarot, then this is going to be your reading for what will your next romantic encounter be. Not gonna lie, Pile 2, I feel like Pile 1's kind of mad at me for their message because it was like so like all over the place. I'm not gonna lie, like I was like, that reading had me stumped. I was like, dang, y'all, like what's going on here? I've literally never had a reading like that. It was kind of cool actually. But yeah, besides that, this is actually the first tarot deck I ever got, Pile 2. Literally, like, I got this deck, I think in summer of 2020. I remember because my friend did a tarot reading on me. I was like, whoa, let me get a deck. And then I like learned tarot from there. Anyways, what will Pile 2's next romantic encounter be? This deck does in fact do jumpers. What will Pile 2's next romantic encounter be? Oh my gosh, okay, a bunch of cards just flew out. So, as you can see, we have the Hierophant. Bottom of the deck, we have Princess of Wands. And then we have, oh, two cards actually. Six of Swords, Queen of Cups, and over here we have the Four of Swords. I'm feeling like your next romantic encounter will be very endearing. Because with the Hierophant card, this could be through school or through work or through like, you know, like every time I pull the Hierophant card, I always talk about community and stuff. So like for some of you could meet this person at like a church or something, or you can meet them, you know, like I'm sensing like this will be a very fleeting moment, one that will kind of, it will open you up emotionally, I'm feeling, because with the Six of Swords, I feel like Pile 2, at the time of watching this, you could be moving on from something, or you could be healing from something. I'm feeling with the Princess of Wands on the bottom of the deck, you probably just got the courage, or you just got like that flare back, or that little oomph back to your energy and back to, you know, like your will to just like get back out there. I feel like you just feel a little bit more spunk, you know, you just feel a little bit more energetic, you know, you feel more energized. And I'm feeling like it doesn't even have to be like you literally were moving on from something or you got hurt or something. I'm just feeling like a lot of you have gone through like this rest period, or you went through like this period of time where you were like not going out, you weren't really exploring, or you were just like not really talking to people. But the Hierophant card and the Four of Swords, I'm feeling like at the time of watching this, you may be ruminating, or you may be thinking about what you want to do next in terms of getting back out there, what you want to do for work, what you want to do for hobbies, what you want to do like and who you want to involve yourself with, you know? So with this being said, your next romantic encounter may be a few small little ones, or one big one that kind of leaves you kind of like, oh, like, what's this, you know? And with the Queen of Cups, I am feeling like you guys are very emotional people, or you guys are very intuitive. And I'm picking up on a lot of heavy Pisces energy here, especially within like the big three and like the Venus sign. And also the Mercury sign, just like anywhere, like there's just Pisces and 12th house energy all over this reading so far. And also we do have Taurus here. So, like I just feel like whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter if you have those placements, but with Taurus and Pisces, it just makes me think of like this very like, like luxurious and like kind of like this expensive like encounter, one that kind of is up to your standards and one that, leaves you feeling something, because I feel like maybe you guys have, pardon me, you guys may have high standards, or you guys may have, very, how do I say, strict values when it comes to relationships, encounters, anything of the sorts, or who you interact with. Because of the Hierophant card here, I do feel as if though like you have a strict moral code that you follow when it comes to interacting with people, and when it comes to, your emotional encounters and how, you deal with romance as a whole. You may have like very like, rigid perspectives when it comes to like marriage, when it comes to, relationships, and you probably are the kind of person that wants everything 50-50, or you want everything to be a specific way, because I feel like you're not willing to compromise, or you're not willing to bend over backwards for people anymore, because I am sensing that with the Six of Swords and Four of Swords, pardon me. I feel like you guys have done that before. I feel like you guys have compromised your needs before, or you have, like put yourself in a very jeopardizing position in order to satiate others, or in order to believe, or like to keep the peace, I feel like that is a very like Taurian thing to do, of like, like just like letting things pass or letting things go just because like you don't want conflict, or you don't want, like a bunch of drama. And it doesn't matter, like I said, whether or not you do have those placements. You could just have like second house influence, or a very prominent second house. Or for some of you, you may have like a very interesting Venus and Sun aspect. That's like a random message. You could have like a Venus square Sun in your chart. But like I just feel like that aspect once again just shows that like you would have very rigid, or like very like, like a very interesting and very friction oriented perspective on romance and love. And the reason I'm kind of bringing this all up is because I feel as if though like maybe at times you felt like, oh, like nothing will make me feel some sort of way again, or like, oh, like this won't be the vibe, like how could I ever be satisfied, maybe a little bit of that, because I do feel like the Queen of Cups can be susceptible to talking like that to herself. And I'm feeling as if though like you'll be pretty surprised by how much this situation catches you off guard. I'm feeling like with the Hierophant card, it will be one of those situations where this encounter, or something leading up until this encounter, will kind of open your mind. I'm specifically picking up on the latter, because I feel as if though like you don't really like surprises maybe, or you don't like to be caught off guard, or you don't like a situation to pop up out of nowhere and, like sweep you off your feet. I feel like if you are to be swept off your feet, you want to feel it, you want to be aware of it, you want to be present for it. So as a result, I do think that there will be a bunch of points leading up until this encounter that will kind of like, like pacify you, and kind of like, like soften up your edges a little bit, and kind of like relax you, Perhaps for some of you, you'll get the job that you want, or, you'll get the apartment that you want, or you'll get into a group, or like you'll make new friends, something of the sort, something that will make you feel more comfortable and a little bit more stable, and, like something that will make you feel more rooted within, your life, and make you feel comfortable, just something that will make you feel good and make you feel more confident within your circumstances. And these situations will kind of soften you up. And when this encounter happens, like you'll be very open-minded to it, and you'll be very like, like, oh, like it's whatever, like this person just wants to like take me out, or, they just want to, go out with me, it's like not that big of a deal. But in doing so, it will kind of like lead you into this situation where like, oh, this was something else, and it'll feel like it was like there was no better time than now, when it happens. It'll be like, oh my gosh, like why does this feel like it happened so like like it was just so like perfectly timed, you know. I'm feeling like the timing of this encounter will be like exquisite. Like it will really like, I feel like the timing of it will shock you more than anything else, because it will just feel like it happened right as you started wanting it, or right as you started, like, you know, like clearing up other aspects of your life. It'll just happen in a pivotal moment, and it will just be so like correct, you know, because once again, I do feel like you have very stubborn perspectives when it comes to these kind of things. So as a result, like that's what you're manifesting, you know? And I'm feeling like you just have like a very fixed perspective on these things, and it's just like that's why this situation will kind of like be kind of a lead up thing, or it'll be kind of something that, you know, like there's a bunch of things that leading up to it that will kind of soften you up, and then once again, like this will kind of like sweep you off your feet, and it will kind of have you feeling kind of like a little bit, you know, like fun, and a little bit like you'll tap into a very like flirtatious and a very like, you know, like charming part of yourself. I feel like maybe for some of you, you were a little bit rigid if you do have Taurus in your chart. Like you don't have to, but like I am sensing that some of you may have important Taurus placements. Girl, you already know the past few years have been rough for the Taurus placements. If you're a Taurus moon like me, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Oh my god. But I just feel like these situations will kind of lead you feeling like you'll be surprised by how lighthearted you become, and you'll be surprised as to how like fun you'll become. You'll be surprised as to how much fun you have with this person, and they just might sweep you off your feet. They just might make you feel some sort of way, or they just might like, maybe like the timing won't shock you that much if that resonated or not. You know, if that did resonate, you know, that could be it. But for others of you, if the timing aspect, like if the timing message doesn't resonate, I'm feeling like this will just be a situation like it's just like perfect, like the perfect date. You know, like I remember like one time I like went on a Ferris wheel with this person, and then we ended up like having a moment, and it was like it felt perfect, you know. It felt like in the movies, you know, like it just like that perfect Venus vibe, that perfect like, oh my gosh, like this is so good, you know. And I'm feeling like a lot of you, like, I'm kind of noticing that I'm like very choked up, and it's very ironic because Taurus rules over the throat. And, you know, like once again, I'm just bringing it up because of the throat part, because I've noticed I've been clearing my throat a lot. I've been making weird noises with my mouth, or like, you know, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like what will be said in this situation will be most important. I'm feeling like a lot of like you will have more to say in this situation, but this person will do so much of the talking for you. I'm feeling like a lot of you are with the Queen of Cups, like, and the Six Swords. Like, we just have so many swords here, like, compared to the other cards. Like, we have two swords cards out of the four cards, you know? So, the reason I'm bringing that up is because obviously the swords rule over our thoughts, our communication, things of that nature. And I'm feeling like a lot of you guys have had to do some of the talking before, but I feel like you'll be pleasantly surprised by how this person speaks to you and how they talk to you. I feel like they're going to have good conversation game. I feel like they're going to have a lot of like conversational riz. I don't know how to explain it. And the way they talk to you will really just like, they might also have like a very attractive voice, or they might have like a very sultry voice. And something about conversation, something about talking, something about what is being said will be of significance in this encounter, and will be one of the main things that kind of leaves you feeling like dazed, or like in this, you know, emotional state of being. And it will really like bring a playful side of you out. Some more about Pile 2's next romantic encounter. Some more about Pile 2's next romantic encounter. More about, oh my gosh. Okay, the death card really wants to fall. Oh. We have the death card and also the world. This card flopped out too. So with the death card, you could be a Scorpio, or this person can have like, or like Scorpio could be like of significance here. But, you know, whether or not, like, I just like saying the zodiac signs because it's for my extra super duper skeptics that need the confirmation, because seeing is believing. And with the world card, this, I'm feeling like, okay, this is what it made me think of earlier. It made me think of like a full day, you know? Like have you ever had one of those days where you go out at like 10, from anywhere between like 8 to 11 in the morning, and then you stay out like all day, and you literally come home at like midnight. It's just like a full day because you're having so much fun, and there's just so much to do, and you're just like getting so well along with this person, and like it's just such a good day, you know. I'm feeling like your next romantic encounter will be like a day long thing. It will be something that just like, I don't think you'll consider it like romantic. I don't think it'll be like, you know, like red roses, boxes of chocolate, and things like that. But more so in like, the vibes will just be so immaculate, because I do feel as if though, like, if someone's gonna come at you sideways, pile two, they have to come at you correctly. I don't think that someone can just come up to you and start flirting with you. I feel like you'll get grossed out, like you'll vomit on them and then like call a taxi or like run away, you know. I don't know, like whatever it may be. I just feel like if someone has to approach you, like, once again with that like fixed energy, if someone's gonna approach you, they better approach you correctly. You know, like CORRECTLY. And so, like, with the death card, I do think that, like, once again, I think the death card refers to the changes going on in your life leading up until this point. Because obviously the death card is about huge changes. It's literally about killing something off and bringing something new in. And I'm feeling as if though for Six of Swords and the death card and Four of Swords, and the world card, some of you may move, or some of you may like go to a new location and then meet this person, or you will simply be abroad while you meet this person. And it doesn't have to be like you're like literally across the country or something like that. For some of you it could be, but for others of you, you could literally just be like, you know, 1 hour away from home, or you could just be, you know, like a 10-minute drive from home, you know, somewhere that you usually wouldn't go to, somewhere that where you are a little bit farther away. You know, like, oh, like I usually go to this store, but today I'm just on this side of town, so I'll just stop by here, you know, something like that nature. You know, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you will be in a location that you are not completely fond of, but, and also with the death card and the world card, like I said, some of you may physically move. Some of you may literally move homes before you have this encounter. But that's a very particular message, very specific one. So if it doesn't resonate, do leave it. And for others of you, I'm feeling like this once again refers to the fact that, you know, like, even if you're not moving homes, like there will be a lot of changes going on in your life, especially in regards to work, you know, like, you know, schooling and career and things of that nature, you know. And so like, it will just be the situation where like, you feel it coming, because I just noticed we also have the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck right now. I feel like this will be something like, I'm feeling like you guys have like a very good intuition, or you have like a very good gut instinct. I wouldn't be surprised if there are times where you didn't listen to your gut and you regretted not listening to it. I know I have. I remember this one time there was napkins in my car, and I was like, wow, I should really take these napkins out. And the day I took them out, I was like, I don't know if I should do this, but I'm just gonna take them out. The day after, I literally needed napkins because I spilled something in my car. I was so damaged. I was like, had I just left those napkins in my car, we would have been Gucci right now. But literally right now, I'm just like struggling. But yeah, let's pull some more cards. What about pile two's next encounter? Oh my gosh. What about pile two's next encounter? 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 Okay. Oh, High Priestess again. Wow. We have 9 of Cups in reverse, and we have the 5 of Cups. I'm not gonna lie, pile 2, I'm feeling like this situation might just happen after like a long period of like, I'm feeling like you'll be blindsided. I'm feeling like with the 9 of Cups in reverse, I don't usually read reverses, but, you know, like if they just happen to come out like in a deck like this, I'll be like, you know. With the 9 of Cups in reverse, this, when it's in reverse, it talks about overindulgence. It talks about, you know, like over fantasization. You know, it talks about, you know, like thinking too much or wanting something so badly to a point where you're literally blocking it. And not to scare you with that, but what I'm saying is I feel like with the 5 of Cups and 9 of Cups in reverse, you might go through disappointments where you feel as if though like you don't know if this encounter is coming towards you. You don't know if like what you want will come to you, you know? I feel like oftentimes when we watch readings like this, it kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, it's maybe delusional at times where you're like, oh my gosh, like they said I'm gonna meet them while I'm out. I'm like, you know, at the store right now, so love of my life, where are you? Like, are you in self checkout? Like, I'm coming over, like, be there in 5. You know, so I'm feeling like this kind of paints the more realistic picture side of the reading, in the sense that like I'm feeling like you guys will start wanting a situation so bad, or you'll start wanting something else so badly. It doesn't even have to pertain to your love life, but for some of you I think it could, because of the Queen of Cups. You know, like there'll just be something that you're very emotionally attached to, or you're something like there's something that you're hanging on to, or a belief, a person, an idea, a situation, a job. It doesn't matter what it is, but there will be something that you're clinging onto, or something that you're desperately wanting. And I'm feeling like with time it just like won't come to you, and it will leave you kind of disappointment, or like disappointed. And so as a result, within this disappointment is when it will come towards you. It's when it will happen literally out of nowhere. I feel like all of this desire and all of this wanting and all of this like energy that you'll be pouring into this situation, it's not going to waste, pile 2. Let me tell you that much. It is literally not going to waste. And at some point it's going to like give in. You know, like when you like shake a soda bottle, like, and like nothing happens, and you're like, oh my gosh, but then you like throw it, or you open the cap or something. There will be a moment where you like, when you give up, or when you like take a break, or when you get blindsided by something else, or you hyperfixate on something else, or you think about something else, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just that there will be something else in your life that causes you to like, you know, like turn your direction, or like turn your focus to something else. And that's when the cap will come off the soda bottle, and things will kind of just like almost blow up in your face. So what is happening in pile 2's next romantic encounter? Some cards about pile 2's next romantic encounter. We have freedom. We have daydream. Yes, I knew it. And we also have maturity. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have healing. So yeah, I am sensing that for some of you, a lot of daydreaming will be going on. I'm feeling like you guys have a very detailed and a very like sweet and also like realistic approach to love now. I feel like with the Death card, 6 of Swords, like all these cards are just like telling me that you are free from something. You know, you are releasing yourself from something, whether it be an ex, a horrible job, you know, just I feel like you guys really have gone through the rakes, and you have done a beautiful job of recovering. And think of this as like a little bit of a gift from the universe, you know, like a little care package, a little housewarming gift. But I am feeling like with the maturity card and the healing card, just this sense of like pile 2, like you've overcome a lot emotionally, especially in your love life. And so like coming up in this romantic encounter, it will be something that really like you'll be able to be completely present in. You know, you'll be able to like project your full personality within the situation, because you'll just feel so much more comfortable in other areas of your life. Because I am feeling as if though like maybe you are the kind of person that's like, oh, like I can't do nothing if I'm broke, or I can't do nothing when I'm unemployed, you know, like I get nervous or something like that, you know, or I can't do anything if I'm not in school, or if I'm not, you know, keeping myself busy, you know. And I'm feeling like this applies very differently from person to person here. It doesn't have to just be about those things. It could be literally anything else, you know. Perhaps there are just other things in your life that you want to sort out before you want to get into this encounter. And that is definitely happening. But I also feel like for some of you, maybe like you have a more mature outlook to where you aren't being as hard on yourself, or you aren't being as perfectionistic in order to get what you want, or, you know, like not believing that you have to be in another shape or form, where you have to be something that you don't want to be, or like you have to be like further down, or, you know, further back within your journey in order to attract what it is that you're looking for. I feel like you're more like I feel like you're at more peace with yourself, and I feel like the self-love is really going to start coming in. I'm feeling like you guys are healing right now, and in the midst of your healing, it'll just be like this situation will really come upon you, and it will really like be like that last push before you're completely done, healing, before you're completely done, like, being done with something, before you're completely finished with, wrapping things up in other areas of your life. And I'm feeling like it's just gonna be like, wow, like I've been waiting for a situation like this for a really long time now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sum up your reading pile too by saying that your next romantic encounter will be very sweet. It will be something that you won't expect, but more so because you are so like focused on it, or you are so like, like you're thinking about it so much, or you're thinking about other things so much that like it starts to become hidden in plain sight, and it kind of jumps at you like a Five Nights at Freddy jump scare. I don't know, but yeah, and it'll be something that like happens with time, because little events will happen that will improve the quality of your life and therefore make you more uncomfortable and really expedite this process of in which it manifests into your physical reality. So yeah, that's all I have for you, pile 2. I freaking loved your message. Oh my gosh, I hope it resonated, and if it did, like, comment, and subscribe. But other than that, thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Mermaid Tarot, then this is going to be your reading for what is your next romantic encounter going to be. Oh my gosh. I just like took a huge break between your pile and pile 2, and oh my gosh, I was like eating everything. I don't know about y'all, but like I just love eating. And I asked, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I don't even remember at this point. And I was like, oh, what's your moon sign and what makes you feel comfortable? And a lot of people said food, just like me. So like, I don't know, are we all the same person or what? Anyways, what's pile 3's next romantic encounter going to be? Pile 3's next romantic encounter going to be... I remember this is one of the first decks I got when I started collecting tarot decks. I don't know. What a journey it has been. What is pile 3's next romantic encounter? Okay, so first of all, we have Four of Swords. I think that's a card that's popped up in literally every single reading today. I don't know. And Judgment. So... and on the bottom deck, we have Nine of Wands. I'm feeling like your next romantic encounter will be something that really has you reconsidering how you balance things in your life. And it will be one that really loosens you up. I'm feeling like you guys have been resting for a while now, or you guys have been, like laying low for quite a long time now. You could say flying under the radar. But I'm feeling like with the Judgment card, maybe some of you guys are a little bit, how do I say, critical on yourselves when it comes to romance and anything that involves, like romantic relationships and love. But I'm feeling like with the Nine of Wands and the Four of Swords, I don't know. So here's my thought process. So with the Four of Swords, this card's about, rest, recuperation, time out. At least that's what it means to me. And then with the Nine of Wands, it's about, like a hardship. It's about, like you're almost there. It's like reaching the finish line, and that last final push, and that last wind you need to get there. So I'm feeling like it's just this finish line that I'm talking about, and kind of this like like uphill slope of like overcoming something is more so about overcoming, like this resting period, and overcoming this self-criticism, or overcoming other balances in your life and how you perceive romance. Let me pull some more cards for some more context here, actually. We have the Fool, yeah. And also the Three of Swords. I remember this is one of the cards that really caught my eye when I was getting this deck. But... okay, let's address this Three of Swords, because we all know this card, girl. Anyone that watches more than one tarot video knows the vibe when the Three of Swords is here. So I really do think that pile 3 this is gonna be something that kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's gonna be very unexpected, but in a way that's like, I'm feeling like the timing of this is gonna really throw you off, and I feel like that's what's gonna make it so exciting, because I'm feeling like when you anticipate things or when you like know something's coming, maybe it makes it a little bit less exciting for you. The best analogy I can think of is like, you know, when you accidentally bite your tongue, it like hurts way more than if you like intentionally try to bite it. And if you're a scientist, don't explain that to me. I understand, but you know, it's the same vibe. But I just feel like with the Three of Swords, that you guys have probably tolerated some heartbreaks or some disappointments. I'm actually gonna pull a card or two to kind of. Ooh, we also have the Moon. I'm gonna pull a card to see what the Three of Swords is. Tell me what this Three of Swords is. Feeling this one. The Magician. Yeah, I feel like. And the Eight of Cups. Wow. So basically, I feel like the Magician card is explaining what you're actively trying to move on from. Because with the Eight of Cups and the Magician, that suggests like, you know, like having the willpower and summoning the energy to move on from something, leave something behind because of emotional confusion. And I feel like in the midst of this kind of process is like this new romantic encounter will kind of overlap it. I am sensing that for a lot of you, the longevity of this encounter will be relevant, because I feel like you guys are maybe a little bit done with the casual stuff, or you guys are a little bit done with trying to like date around, or you know, like meet people like that. And obviously that's a very specific message, so leave it as a specific message. If it doesn't resonate, then you know, just leave it. But I feel like for others of you in which that message doesn't apply, it's just the sense of there's something more that you're looking for. You know, I just feel like with the Four of Swords, it's that deep meditative energy about wanting something new or wanting something more exciting and something that, you know, like really helps you loosen up. Because I am feeling like with the Nine of Wands, like you guys may be a little bit uptight at the moment, or you guys may be like, how do I say, just kind of overworking yourself, or you're just like hyper focused on other things in your life, and as a result maybe there isn't enough attention in your love life. Lots of Capricorn energy here, lots of like cardinal energy, so like Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, and Libra. Because I feel like you guys are like, you know, whether or not you have those signs in your chart, it's just about that cardinal energy, and it's about moving forward and wanting to try something new and wanting to just move along and not be stagnant. Because you know, with this Four of Swords, okay, this is also like catching my eye every time I see this particular card in this deck. It's very interesting that this figure is laying down in the bottom of the ocean, and you know, this figure looks like, they kind of look like, hey, like I should probably get up, or maybe it's time to get up, you know. I feel like you guys are just ready for a change, and I feel like this encounter is definitely what's going to bring in that change. With the Fool card, some of you may start a relationship out of this encounter, or this may be the beginning of something more sweet, and also like the end of something more painful and something more, you know, like, how do I say, agonizing, honestly. I just feel like with the Fool card, some of you could start a relationship, but for others of you, I'm feeling like this will like be the beginning of you exploring, or the beginning of a relationship, whichever one resonates. But as a whole, it's just about something's beginning and something is, you know, being planted here. And I feel like with the Fool card, this encounter is going to be very exciting, very adventurous. I feel like you guys, whoever this person is, you guys may end up going out to, like, you might travel, or you might just go somewhere. You might be just very spontaneous together. I'm feeling like it's gonna be like, hey, like, do you want to do this? And like, oh yeah, let's go. And then after you're done with that, you're like, oh my gosh, we should go do this too. And you know, like, I feel like a lot of this encounter is going to be played by ear, and I feel like a lot of it is going to be pretty intuitive, you know, where you don't really plan everything out, or you don't like, you know, like write everything down, or like, oh, like I'm going to pick you up at this time, we're going to go at this time, we should be here at this time, you know. None of that. It's going to be really spontaneous, and it's going to be very fluid. And for some of you, it might be like a last minute thing, or it might be like a last minute plan, you know. like one person texts the other person, or like one person runs into the other person, like, hey, like, do you want to go out? Or like, hey, like, my friend canceled on me with this trip. Do you just want to go with me? Something of that nature. It doesn't really matter like your connection to this person, but for some of you, I am sensing that you could already know this person, or this is somebody that like you kind of have like within your circle, or somebody that you are at least fond of or acquainted with in a way. And so I feel like this situation is going to be a lot more fluid and a lot less uncomfortable because of that. But for some of you, it could be someone that you like meet and then you get fond of, and then that's kind of where, like the excitement starts to begin. But I feel like once again, it's just like there's a lot of timelines here, and I feel like the timing is what's really going to make this exciting, because it's going to be kind of unexpected, and it's not going to be something that you were able to predict, or it's something that like I'm sure you'll feel it, and like you're going to be aware of the fact that it's coming. You just don't know when. Think of it like a Jack in the Box. It's just, except like you just don't know when it's going to pop out. Like it, you know what I mean? I don't know, but it's going to be this sense of like it's really going to catch you off guard. And I know that sounds kind of like cliche, and I don't think it's going to be like, oh wow, like I wasn't expecting that to happen, y'all, like LOL jump scare. Not like that, but more of like you'll kind of suspect it, and you'll kind of like have an idea of it. I am sensing that like you guys are very good at reading a situation. You're good at reading people. You're very good at spotting people out, especially if you do have cardinal in your chart. I feel like cardinal signs are so good at reading people, and especially Capricorn and Libra. So you may have those placements within your sun or moon, even rising and or your inner planets, your personal planets. But whether or not you have those placements, I just feel like this situation will be kind of one of those things where you kind of suspect it, and like you like see it coming, but it still kind of surprises you. Like when you do wind up a Jack in the Box, when it's gonna pop out. You literally feel it. When the music ends. When it's gonna happen. You even like sense the box kind of like like jiggling a little bit, or like making weird noises because like it's about to pop out. But even when it does, you jump a little. It's still kind of like surprises you, or like in a horror movie when there's like a jump scare coming out, and you literally know there's gonna be a jump scare. The music goes quiet, the character's about to do something that they're literally not supposed to do, but they still do it because that's how horror is for some reason. And by the way, I feel like horror movies would be so much scarier if the character did all the right things instead of all the wrong things. But I guess that's the satire. I guess that's the gag. I don't know. I don't like horror, but that's just me. But like the point is like there's a jump scare coming, and you literally know, but it still surprises you. It still like scares you. It still catches you off guard. I feel like that's what this is going to be. Like it's gonna be one of those things where like, oh wow, this is coming towards me, and then it actually starts coming towards you. You're like, oh my god, It makes me think. I just thought of a weird analogy. When there's like a spider on the floor or something, and you're like, oh my god, and the minute you try to like hit it or something, it just starts like moving around and like doing spider things, and you're like, oh my god, It's just like it surprised you, even though you literally know it's a spider. I don't know. I'm just like I'm trying to really like get through to your brain that this situation will be something that it's not necessarily will completely catch you off guard and like you won't see it coming at all, but more so even if you do see it coming, it will still like surprise you, and it will still like shock you. That's like the best way to describe it. And I am also sensing that with the Four of Swords, this encounter will be very like healing. I feel like with the Judgment and Four of Swords, in that case it'll be an encounter that really has you reconsidering things. I feel like the way you feel about it and the excitement and enjoyment you get out of it will be, like it depends because everyone's different. But what I'm trying to say is like it may change your perspective on romantic relationships, or it may have you thinking some. I feel like also a lot of this encounter afterwards you'll think about it a lot, and I feel like that's where a lot of that message I was just talking about, like it'll have you thinking, or if it'll have you reconsidering, I feel like that's where a lot of this reconsideration will come from. And when I say reconsideration, it's just like how you go about your love life, what you want in it, and how you want to be approached again, or how you want the next encounter to be, and obviously that won't resonate with all of you because not all of you are interested in a relationship, or not all of you are interested in getting putting yourself back out there. But the point is that after this encounter, it will have you thinking a lot. And I'm feeling like you will also like really think back to it. This is a specific message, but this encounter is going to be very exciting, and it's going to be one that really just like catches you like off guard emotionally. Not like, oh, it like surprised you, but more so in, like, you weren't expecting to let loose like that. You weren't expecting to have that much fun, and you weren't expecting it to be as easy as it was. So as a result, with the Three of Swords and the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Cups, I feel like you'll be reconsidering or ruminating about past situations where you didn't get that feeling, or you didn't get treated as well as you did, or you didn't get, the excitement that you got out of this situation. And so, like, as a result, I feel like you'll kind of realize, like, wow, like, why did I settle, or why did I ever deal with what I dealt with, like, wow, this person really wasn't anything, they really weren't all that, I would use more vulgar language, but, they really weren't if you know what I mean. But I just feel like, that being said, it's just, obviously, like I said, that's a very specific message, but I feel like it will kind of apply, it will kind of apply in different severities from person to person watching this pile. But it's pretty safe to say that a lot of you will be like reconsidering a lot of how you treat yourself and a lot of what you want and what your expectations are, and also change your perspective of yourself. Like, I just feel like it's just gonna be the situation and encounter is gonna be so good to you that, like, it kind of like amps up like your positive perspective of yourself. And I'm not saying like, oh, like you're your own worst critic, or you don't like yourself or something like that, but like I feel like we have our own like perspectives on romance and how we see like romance, and I feel like a lot of us do feel kind of like weird when it comes to like our self-worth and romantic relationships. And that's just from personal experience, so like obviously if you don't agree with that, like that's it's just my opinion. But I just feel like what I'm trying to say here is it will really change the way you see how you see yourself in relationships and how you interact with different people. That's the best. That's that part. Anyways, what else on pile 3's next romantic encounter? What else about pile 3's next encounter? You could also meet at like a beach or something, or you could like do something involving like swimming or something, because this is like the Mermaid Tarot, so it makes me think of water. We also have Two of Swords and Nine of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this situation is going to be like, and the Moon. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this situation is really gonna uproot you. Okay, pile 3, if you're a commitment phobe, just know this situation will agitate the commitment phobe in you. It's like, it will be like poking a bear while it's hibernating. It's gonna be that vibe for some of you. But Nine of Swords is literally about anxiety. It's literally the nightmare card. We all know her. Like, let's just be transparent. I also think it's very interesting how many swords we have here on top of the Moon. I'm just feeling like this situation will really have you thinking. It will have you kind of in your head. I'm sensing that, okay, for some of you, you could already be in a relationship, or you could already be in a situationship, or you could have already dealt with this person previously and they're like kind of coming back around. And I feel like this gives you a lot of anxiety, or it really makes you nervous, because maybe some of you do miss somebody, or some of you are longing for somebody, or longing to start a journey with somebody. And I am sensing that for some of you, like, this person will try manifesting you back, or vice versa. And I feel like that's where a lot of this worry will come in, because it doesn't really matter how you feel about this person that I'm talking about, or it doesn't really matter how you perceive your past situationships. It's just like, the point is that collectively, I feel like you guys are going to be very nervous, or you're going to be very apprehensive, or especially careful. I'm not sensing like it will be like you're like laying in bed, can't eat, super nervous, like not like that, but more so in a way that it just has you watching your back. It has you like being especially mindful, being especially careful, especially with social media, because I feel like we have a lot of that in here with the swords being around. And with the Magician card, I do feel as if though, like, some of you could be manifesting somebody back into your life, or this another person could be manifesting you back into their life. So, and I feel like, okay, sorry, I just got like distracted. You could be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer, or you could be a Pisces or a Cancer, but this situation is one that you've probably been thinking about and something that you have been longing for. But you know, if that doesn't resonate, then just know that that's the other person. You know, if it doesn't resonate for you or like one or the other, just know it's for the other person in the situation, you know? So if it doesn't sound like them, it could be you. But if it doesn't sound like you, it could be them. You know what I mean? Just like take it that way. But I am sensing that your next romantic encounter will be built off of history, and it will be one where it's like, you know, picking up where you left off. But yeah, sorry, I just like my this desk is right in front of the window, which is right in front of the front door, and like the Amazon delivery man just delivered a package. So thank you to him, I guess. But with that being said, I do feel as if though like an offering will be made, or like a situation will kind of solicit this encounter. So I am feeling like a lot of the surprise that I've been talking about in this reading will come in the form of this situation happening at all. Like, you know, like that feeling of, I don't know how to explain it. When you're like about to go somewhere, or, you know, you are anticipating something and you know you're going, like, say, like, I don't know, like, you're going to the amusement park tomorrow, or like you're taking off for a flight tomorrow, and like you're like anticipating it, and then once it happens you're like going through the motions, and you're kind of just like in a daze going through it, and it's like actually happening. I feel like that's what it's gonna feel like. I feel like that's what this situation is going to be like, and I feel like, you know, a lot of that daze and a lot of that like mesmerization is going to come in, especially since like with the Nine of Swords, like this may be something that you've been stressing about, or something that you have been thinking about. Or once again, like if that doesn't resonate for you, then the person that's like manifesting you, or the person that we are talking about here, is definitely thinking about you, and is definitely, you know, like missing you, or is definitely just like, you know, ruminating about you. I wouldn't say that they are necessarily missing you for some of you. And, you know, obviously, like, you know who I'm talking about, and you probably know them way better than I do. You do know them better than I do. So I just want to say, you know, take that message however it resonates. But I do think that for a lot of you, it's pretty safe to say that this person is thinking about you, and they are trying to appropriately solicit a situation where they can have this encounter with you. We also have Five of Wands and the Tower. Yeah, like, I just feel like this situation is something, there's history here, y'all. Like, I feel like if y'all know, y'all know. You know, if you're watching this far and so far it's resonating, it's pretty safe to say there is history. Something happened here. You know, there was meaning behind the situation. There's context, there's background information with this encounter. There is information there. You know what I mean? Like, there's tea. But with the Five of Wands, I am sensing that this encounter will cause a lot of conflict. You know, like when you really want something, but like you feel like you like can't have it, or you don't know if it's what's correct, or if this is like the vibe, then like it's just one of those situations where it's like, oh, like, you know, like I want it, but do I need it, you know? And honestly, this reminds me a lot of like this past December. And by the way, at the time of filming this and recording this, Mercury retrograde does start this week. So that could be a factor for a lot of you. But, you know, obviously this is a timeless reading, but I'm just saying, like, if you are watching this when I'm uploading it, that could be relevant to you. But for others of you, you may be going through another Mercury retrograde, or whatever the case may be. But last December, there was a Mercury retrograde, and that's how my ex came back. Because like I remember I reached out to him, and then like, you know, like obviously we're broken up now, but like it's just like the situation clearly had unfinished business, or there was clearly history that needed to be set in stone before it could be properly laid to rest. And because of that, there was a lot of that like uncertainty of, is this correct? Is this right? So like I think like some advice is coming through in this reading, because I feel like you are heading towards this encounter pretty quickly too. And for some of you, this person could have already reached out. I'm feeling like for a lot of you, this situation is unfolding rather quickly. But I'm going to pull some oracle cards here to kind of see what else this is going to be like. But yeah. What about pile 3's next romantic encounter? What about their next romantic encounter? Okay, what do we got? We have balance, support, romance. Oh my gosh, no, I pushed the cards. Please stop. And fun. Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. This romantic encounter is going to be really fun, and it's going to be something where things get spiced up and things start happening. But also, like, it's just this vibe of, like, you know, when, like, it just feels like, oh my gosh, is this person coming back into my life? Or, oh my gosh, am I going to commit to this person, you know? It doesn't even matter if it's somebody that you were previously, you know, in relation with in the past, honestly. That's just like a very vague, like a very specific message for some of you. But for others of you, I'm sensing that, like, I think across the board for every single person watching this reading, this is going to be a lot of fun. And you and this person are really going to balance each other out and, like, give each other a lot of support. And it's just like, if you're going through a very turbulent time, this person will provide you a lot of solace and a lot of peace and a lot of, you know, like, just support, you know? And a lot of that, like, stability, or, you know, that emotional, how do I say, that emotional assistance that will just, like, really exalt yourself into the present, and it will really just, like, calm you down. But I feel like in doing so, I feel like this encounter will be something that really stresses you out, because you don't know what to make of it, or you don't know what is to become of it, you know? You'll have a little bit of trouble reading the situation. You'll have a little bit of trouble, like, getting a indifferent perspective on it, because I do feel as if though a lot of you are going to be, like, blindsided by some of your feelings, or you're going to be kind of dazed. And don't worry, I am sensing that with the moon card, information will be revealed to you as you go, and what is hidden and what needs to be seen will be revealed to you as you go. So as a result, this situation will be something that definitely solicits a little bit of worrying, and causes you to, not solicits, but, you know, like, causes you to worry, causes you to get in your head a little bit. But also, in doing so, it will, like, reveal a lot of other things outside of the romance itself that will just provide you a lot of peace, you know? With the 9 of Wands, it's just a sense of, like, this is kind of like that final stepping stone, and it's kind of like that final moment before things can kind of get wrapped up and things can kind of get, like, you know, like, properly laid down, you know? Like, the dust will be properly settled, you know? It's like you're in a dusty room and a fan's on and the dust never gets to settle. So, like, this will be the situation where you turn the fan off. And yes, like, I do feel as if though, like, this is something you've been worrying about anyway. So I'm just feeling like this is kind of like the end of that worrying, like, period, you know? Like, I feel like it's just going to be ending. So I think I'm going to sum up your reading, pile 3, by saying that for some of you, this could be a person that's from your past that's coming back into your life. And you'll have, like, a really fun moment with them, or you'll have, like, a really fun, you know, situation, a fling, or you could even get back together. But for others of you, regardless of who this person is, I am sensing that this situation is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to bring you a lot of joy and a lot of, like, harmony in multiple aspects of your life. But I am sensing that regardless of the case here, a lot of you will feel some worry. I feel like when I say feel some worry, like, you have been feeling this worry. You have been feeling this unsureness and a little bit of this uncertainty. But with the moon card on the bottom of the deck, I am sensing that this situation will become more and more clear as you go. And a lot of things, like, the fog will be lifted after this situation kind of happens. So don't worry. Enjoy it, because it's going to be a lot of fun in the moment. So yeah, that's what I have to say about it. That's what the cards have to say about it. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, pile 3. I hope the reading resonated. Let me know down below how it did. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And other than that, thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Bye. Hello, pile 4. If you chose the 5 cent tarot, this is going to be your reading for your next romantic encounter. Oh my gosh, you guys. The messages today have been kind of like all over the place. I don't know. Like, I feel like I love doing love readings, but it's just like, it's very unpredictable for me. I don't know. I feel like every time I do love readings, it's very unpredictable. I don't know. That's just me though. You know, like, I don't know about any other reader, but anyways, let's get right into this. What about pile 4's next romantic encounter? What is going on in pile 4's next romantic encounter? Okay, what's good? We have Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh. What a nice card to start out with. And 2 of Buttons. Honestly, y'all, let me be real with you. Okay, what else? 10 of Cups, girl. I hate to sound like I'm just like, you know, like trying to hype you up. But like, okay. So the first message I got is, you know, when you're like, you're feeling somebody and like you're just so ready to clock out of work to go see them. That is the vibe I'm picking up on him. Like, I don't want to sit here and be like, girl, look at you, but like, girl, look at you. You know, I feel like, oh my god, I have the giggles now. I feel like with the Ace of Cups and the 2 of Buttons, literally, oh my gosh, this romantic encounter will be one whole storyline. I don't think that it's, well, for some of you, it could be just one isolated incident. This sounds like a murder scene, like an isolated situation. But for a lot of you, I'm feeling like this will be something that like one encounter kind of like leads into a bunch of different encounters, and it will be therefore like one big encounter. You know what I mean? But I'm feeling like with the 2 of Buttons, like this will be a situation where you're balancing it into your kind of like day-to-day life, or you're kind of balancing it into, you know, like it will sneak up on you. It will start very casually. It will start very like, you know, like it sounds cliche, but it really will be a situation where you're kind of just like getting to know each other, or you're kind of just like, you know, like hanging out together. Maybe you're in like a group of friends or something, or like, you know, you meet online or something of the sorts like that. Just something that's very unsuspecting and something that seems very harmless. But with the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Cups on the bottom with the deck, y'all already know the vibe. Feelings will be here, okay? Whether it be on your end, their end, both ends, it don't matter. Feelings will be involved here, and it will make this encounter all the more sweet. Girl, you know, I know I sound crazy right now, but I put it, like, I just can't with you right now. Literally, the other piles have not been anything like this. And don't tell the other piles I said that, okay? If you commented down below, I'm not saying anything, okay? I'm just gonna be like, I can't read, y'all. But what I'm trying to say here is, like, you know, all piles weren't like this, pile 4. Like, there's literally, like, something's coming towards you, and this encounter is going to be very sweet. It's literally going to be very harmonizing. It's going to be a huge recalibration moment for you, because I feel like maybe with the 2 of Buttons, for a lot of you, like, it was a lot of work and no play for you, or like you kind of just been like floating about your life, or you're just like not that concerned about your love life, or it was just something that was like put on the back burner. And I'm feeling like this looks very different from person to person. I mean, obviously, but what I'm trying to say is, like, for a lot of you, it wasn't just like, oh, like I'm just not focused on my love life, lol. It was just something that you were passively looking for, and it's something that like you had your eye, you know, just you were just looking for, you know, like you were looking for it, but you weren't like, you know, like turning over rocks, and you're like, you know, like turning the world upside down looking for it, but more so like, oh, like, you know, is it here, is it there, you know? But I feel like with this situation, it's going to be something that kind of starts very sweet and very innocently, but as it progresses, like, girl, we literally have the beginning and the end of the cup suit. Like, a lot is going to happen in this encounter, and it could possibly lead to a whole relationship, y'all. And I don't mean to like be like literally, oh, like you're getting into a relationship. For some of you, it could just be an isolated, like situation. It could just be like one really nice situation that leaves you feeling really good. Or for some of you, if you already are with a partner, or if you are with somebody already, like you will start to make more time for each other, and there will be more encounters. There will be one specific encounter where you carve out time out of one day to hang out, and it will be so nice. It will be so romantic. It will be so ambient and just so like lovely. I don't know. That's like the best way to put it. What else? We also have 9 of buttons. Oh my gosh. And then the Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh, pile 4. You literally saw me shuffle the cards. I wish like you could just like all like however many of you could just sit down and watch me shuffle the cards and be like, y'all, I swear this is not rigged. Like I'm not crazy. But like with the Knight of Cups, I do think that this person could make the first move on you, or this person will be, it doesn't even matter, like a very sweet emotional offering will be made, whether it be from you or this person, but I am sensing that it will be this person, because with the 9 of buttons, girl, pile 4, y'all are looking amazing. Y'all are looking like a snack. You guys are looking like a meal. Like you guys are looking like appetizer, like main course, and then dessert, like all three, like those medieval tables that are like really long and just full of like bowls of fruit, and they're like candlelit, and like there's like turkeys everywhere. That's like you. Like you're the table. Like not the physical, like you know what I mean? Like you're literally eating right now. Like people will be like, pile 4 thought they ate because they did, And what the reason I'm mentioning this is because the 9 of buttons to me is like ultimate like self-care, like legend energy. Like someone who just looks so good, somebody who is cultivating their own garden, somebody who is literally picking fruits and harvesting from the garden that they grew from seed. It's just like somebody who is relishing all of their own hard work and a lot of their own like efforts and their own self-compassion and self-accountability. And with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups, you are attracting somebody, whether or not you actually already know this person is gonna see, they're gonna see you, with their eyes and with their heart, and they're gonna be like, oh, they look nice, pile 4 looks nice, and said emotional offering will be made to you. And I'm also feeling like with the 9 of buttons, this will be like a very nice situation where like it will be kind of like, because you guys are very self-focused, you guys are very invested in yourselves. I am sensing like you guys have done a lot of work on yourself. You have balanced a lot to get to where you are right now. You've probably worked very hard for the money you have. You've probably worked very hard for where you live, just anything of that nature, because it is the button / pentacles. And I'm feeling like this person will also have worked a lot too. So a lot of like worry and a lot of like anxiety will be absent from the situation. Like you guys won't be worrying about things. You guys won't have other things cluttering your mind in the midst of this encounter. So as a result, this encounter will be that much more indulgent and that much more satisfying, because you guys won't have other things cluttering your mind, or you guys won't have other things that are kind of like soliciting your attention. So as a result, like it will just make this so much better. It'll just make the parties way more present and a lot more aware of what's going on, more ready, more available, What else do we have here? We also have Knight of Needles. So with the Knight of Needles, I feel like this will be something that's kind of like impulsive, or it is done rather quickly, because I see the Knight of Needles as like a very, needles correlates to swords, as you know, or if you didn't know that, I'm just I'm letting you know. But to me, it's a very impulsive energy, and it's a very sudden energy. It makes me think of like when you're just like laying down in bed, and then you suddenly like put your phone down, you're like, you know what, I'm going out today. I'm leaving now. I'm just going to go out right now, It will be a very impulsive decision, and it will be something that kind of catches you off guard, in the sense that like both or however many parties are involved will be very ready. It will just be like, it happens so like easily and it happens so fluidly, because perhaps for a lot of you, you've dealt with a lot of rocky situations, and because of that, like, it is something that you were like, you swore to like not deal with ever again. I am sensing that this is like a lot of karmic like payoff, and a lot of like good karma from past situations that you've healed from past situations that you have overcome. And so like as a result, I do think that with the Knight of Needles, like this will be something that seemingly comes out of nowhere, you know. And I feel like with how many cups we have here, you could be like very romantic person or a very emotional person. So like you could have Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces in your chart. And I feel like you guys are just like really focused, and you guys were really working on yourselves, and you really wanted, you know, a situation like this to happen, or you really wanted a situation that makes you feel better, you know, because I am sensing that like, you know, like all of these cards are very positive and they're very good, but with the Two of Buttons, I am sensing that like you guys did have to balance a lot, and you guys did have to overcome, for some of you, even like a financial hardship, you know. Maybe some of you literally like saved yourself from like debt, or like saved yourself from like a financially displeasing situation that was really taking a toll on you emotionally, mentally, whatever it may be. And so like this situation is going to be something that's like a reward for that. And I'm not saying like, oh, you had to work for it, or like, you know, you had to be a specific way for it, but it's coming to you now because you're in the correct state of mind to fully enjoy it and be fully present for it, without, you know, thinking about other things, or without allowing other things to kind of get in the way or cause you excess anxiety. Because I am feeling like you guys have like, you guys may be an emotional sponge, and maybe you are very susceptible to subjecting other people to your emotions or what you're going through. And I feel like a lot of you are aware of that, and that's definitely something that you guys have probably worked on. But this encounter is going to be one that's like, it kind of builds up, and then suddenly once it starts, it's like it starts. It's like you're trying to start it, and then it just starts. It makes me think of a lawnmower, you know, you're like pulling it, it's like making the noise. I'm not gonna make the noise because it's not. And then like, and then it suddenly just starts up. Like the lawnmower just suddenly on after you're done like tugging that thing. I don't know what that thing is called, but that thing. And so like as a result, it's just like, you know it's gonna start up, but you don't know in which pull it's gonna start up. And then like suddenly it just starts up. You know, this situation will be kind of the same way. Like you will try, or this person will try, or there will be failed attempts before it actually kicks off, and it'll be so worth the wait. I'm telling you, pile 4, I cannot with you right now. Just don't. We also have Page of Needles. Yeah, like I'm feeling like even as you're watching this, pile 4, this situation could be like waiting to unfold literally right now. Like in the sense that like, oh, like you could be waiting to say something, or this person could be waiting to say something, because I see the Page of Needles as like a very like, how do I say, hesitant card, very reluctant. And also it makes me think of gossip, or it makes me think of like mischievousness. So this person could be like a huge flirt, or they could be somebody who is very good at using their words. They are going to know how to talk to you, pile 4. They are going to know how to keep up a good conversation with you. Like I'm talking like, if you send a paragraph talking about something, they are going to send a paragraph right back, maybe even one more on top of that. You know, it's just like, it will be such a mentally enriching situation, because like it will just like keep you very mentally stimulated. It will keep you very like on your toes, not like in a bad way, but more so in a way it'll just be very exciting, you know. But also with the gossip part, this person, one of y'all could have tea to spill, but you know that's like a specific message. But for others of you, I am sensing that this person has already talked about you, or you have talked about this person. There's just like this barrier. It's like, I'm thinking of like a glass wall where you guys see each other, and you guys know what you guys are talking about. You guys know that you're talking about each other, but you don't know what the other person is saying, you know? And I'm feeling like, once again, like that doesn't have to be the case. What I'm trying to say here is that like, it doesn't matter what it's like right now. The point is that this situation's waiting to unfold. It's waiting to kind of give in, you know? For some of you, you could already be talking to this person, and it'll just be a situation that kind of just like unfolds suddenly, you know? Makes you think of like a plant, and then you just come back the next day and like suddenly it has like a new leaf, you know? That kind of vibe. Let's pull another card. 2 more cards. Queen of Cups. We have so many cups here. and Knight of Matches. Yeah. This person is going to be a huge flirt. I'm sensing they're going to be somebody who is, they're just going to be so charming. I'm picking up on like heavy like fire energy. So like Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, especially Aries and Sagittarius. This person is going to know how to talk to you, pile 4. And with the Queen of Cups, I feel like they're also going to be very good at tending to your romantic side. And they may be very chivalrous. They may be very eager to prove themselves. Like, it makes me think of, you know, when you're just trying to walk inside a store or something and they have to like run up to the door to like open it for you, you know, like you're gonna get queen treatment with this, you know, like whether or not you identify as like a woman, like this, you're gonna get some queen treatment from this person. And this person is also going to be just like, they're gonna be such like, I don't know, like they're gonna have like a bite to them, like conversation wise. I don't know, like they're just gonna know how to talk to you. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards to kind of see what else. What about pile 4's next romantic encounter? What about pile 4's next romantic encounter? We have heartbreak. Yeah, I told you. I feel like you guys have gone through something. True love. Oh my god. And commitment. Okay, y'all, like... and regret. I am sensing that, okay. This, for some of you, you may be afraid of commitment. You may be scared of commitment. I don't know, like, I'm a commitment phobe myself, but like pulling these cards, like, freaked me out. Like, more than it should have, because it's literally not even my reading. And with the heartbreak card, I'm feeling like with the regret and heartbreak card, perhaps you're hung up over something else, or there's something else that like you felt like could have happened. I don't know what this regret card is here, but what I do know is that like there is regret present. And I don't think that it really matters where it is present, because I don't feel as if though it's like this big like daunting energy that's, you know, going to derail the entire reading. But more so with the heartbreak card, it provides context as to what you've probably gone through leading up until this point, or it defines a part of you that like is the knee-jerk reaction to, you know, like relationships and romantic encounters, you know. I'm feeling like with the heartbreak card, a lot of you, like I said, like may have dealt with the heartbreak. Like you may have dealt with one that literally like just like took you off the rail, like literally derailed you, you know. Like, have you ever seen a train get off the rails? It's horrible. It's literally a mess. I don't even know what to make of it. And I'm feeling like that's going to be the vibe for, like, that was the vibe for a lot of you. And so, like, I do think that this situation is going to, if this isn't the commitment, it will be a stepping stone towards, like, a commitment. You know, like, if it isn't this situation that's coming up, this encounter that the reading has been about, it's going to be the next situation over if it isn't that one, you know. It's very close to you, and I feel like for a lot of you, you could get into a romantic relationship. Like, for a lot of you, you could find true love. You could find somebody that just, like, makes you feel some type of way. Somebody that, like, has you biting your lip, you know. And I feel like that's really... Honestly, Pile 4, I'm just going to go ahead and sum up your reading right here. I feel like a lot of you have dealt with a heartbreak, and a lot of you have dealt with regrets and things that you felt like you could have done better in your love life specifically. But I am sensing that a lot of you have healed from it, and you've done the work on yourself on it, and you have worked very diligently to get over it, you know? And I'm feeling like a lot of this work that you've done on yourself, whether or not it pertains to healing from something, is really paying off, because you guys look so attractive right now, and it's attracting a lot of people to make a move or like to make an offering to you, and you may not even realize it, you know. And you may even feel like you miss an opportunity or two. Like this, I'm feeling like for some of you, like the regret card is very relevant here, in the sense that for a lot of you, it could be like multiple tries and it doesn't work out, and there will be some like, oh my gosh, like what if I missed my chance, or what if I didn't, you know, like what if like that's the last time I ever see them again, or something like that. But fear not, like it's literally coming towards you, and it's literally trying to stick to you. You know, when you like have like a suction cup and you try to like stick it to something, it doesn't stick, like you will keep trying until it firmly sticks and it stays, you know. It's that kind of vibe. So yeah, really excited for you, pile 4. I really don't know how else to put it for you. Your reading was really short because that was literally such a straightforward message. You literally probably already knew something's coming. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, pile 4. I hope the reading resonated because wow. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Other than that, thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Bye.